Hi and welcome to the Booklab. Today we're going to talk about Adam Smith's book. It's a classic one. It's The Wealth of Nations. Quote, "The greatest improvement in the productive powers of labor and the greater part of the skill, dexterity and judgment of which it is anywhere directed and applied seems to have been the effects of the division of labor." The Wealth of Nations. You have all heard about this book. It was first published in 1776 and it's regarded as one of the most influential works of classical economics. Of course, the author is Adam Smith and he is a legend himself. He is a first principle thinker as well. In this short review, we're going to talk about this book, which is just a foundational part of classical economic theory and modern capitalism. Smith's central idea is that the individual pursuing its own self-interest can unintentionally benefit society as a whole. This is what he famously describes as the invisible hand. He argues that free markets, competition and as little as possible government interference generally leads to greater productivity and more prosperity for all. One of the most memorable parts of the book is his example of a pin factory when he discusses the division of labor, a famous concept from this book. Smith describes how making a pin is not a simple single task. It can be broken down into many distinct operations. Drawing out the wire, flattening it, cutting it, creating the point, attaching the head, and even packing the finished pins. If one worker tries to finish all these tasks alone, maybe he will end up creating a handful of pins every day. But if the work is split up into individual tasks performed by different individuals, the result will be mind-blowing. The factory like this might create 40,000 in a single day. That's the power of the division of labor. That is thousands of pins per worker per day instead of a handful of dozens. This example illustrates how specialization dramatically increases efficiency, not because the workers are smarter, but because the repetition builds skill, time is saved from switching between tasks, and tools can be designed specifically for each step. From this simple observation, Smith builds a sweeping theory about productivity, trade, and economic growth. While this book is intellectually dense and not the easiest book to follow for a modern reader, there's a lot of outdated terminology and comparisons that we can't fully relate to today, but yet this book is still relevant. Smith explores topics such as taxation, wages, trade, public work, and the role of government, many of which continue to shape political and economic debates today. Overall, The Wealth of Nations is not light reading, but it's essential for anyone who wants to understand economics, public policy, or the development of modern markets. Its depth, its ambition, and its enduring influence makes it a cornerstone of economic thought. Adam Smith is a first principle thinker of high rank, and I really loved his sober and deep understanding of how economics work. It's pretty brilliant, even though I struggle to take it all in because there's so much in this book. I initially picked this book up because I wanted to have a better understanding of fundamental economics so that I could understand the implications of what a world of AIs and robots would look like. We just talked about the division of labor and what that means, and my mind just runs away with the implications of robots, or even if there are von Neumann-like replicators. Imagine robots creating other robots and the efficiency gains made from that, the productivity boom. It would be like a meteor hitting the earth and people would not understand what to do. The economy would expand and will probably expand a huge amount, and I have no idea how we will handle that. We are in for huge disruption, and I think the main question we need to figure out is how can we make sure that the billions of people that might run out of jobs or have nothing to do and be of no value in the economy, how do we include everyone and not just make the ones producing the robots extremely rich? Like, how do we even things out in a fair way? In the end, it's hard to recommend this book for everyone because it's a big task to get through this, and it's pretty boring sometimes. Sometimes it's really pulling you to sleep with all the examples, all the detail. Even though it's impressive, it's daunting. I would say it's a crucial read if you really want to If you're interested in history and the history of economics, it's a no-brainer to pick this up. If you're still slightly interested, then there's probably more accessible books to read about economics than this one. I'm glad and I'm pretty proud of myself for making my way through this book. It's been in the works for quite some time. It took me a while to get through this. So I'd say it's a good book, but I won't tell everyone to go run out and buy it right away. So now I've been diving in a little bit into classical economics, and the next step will be to explore the Austrian school of economics. Menger, Mises, Hayek, those guys. So that way you will see more of that on the channel. The big difference from this being that the Austrian economics people, they stress human choice and subjective values in another way, and they also talk about how credit expansion causes the boom and bust cycles that we see in markets. So there's a slightly different twist to it. In the comments, please recommend books that helps us understand money, economics, trade. I would love to just see a full comment list with a bunch of different tips. I will share mine as well, because I've read quite a few recently on different angles, but still on the topic of money and economics. And if you want more interesting books to read, then check out my previous video with my 2026 reading list. It's 25 books, and it's not the books that you see everywhere. It's quite niche, very interesting topics. So if you're looking for something new to read, check that video out. It's a quick video, but lots of recommendations. See you next week with more book reviews. I think the March non-fiction releases will be the next video I record. Until then, Björn out. Happy reading.